Cowboys!
Into a playoff, and one is 2.5 games into an outstanding career as the ball is bobbled, and it's picked up by the fullback, and he's got running room. Andrew Beck, after Boone couldn't handle it, it's still going. Beck, he's going to go all the way in. Did we just see what we just saw?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Touchdown return on a bobble.
9 points on a 67-yard touchdown run by A-Chain. His second rushing touchdown and his fourth today.
Stepping out, pulling his own Dan Orlovsky right in the back of the end zone.
She will see what we hope is a fantastic
Welcome back to the Fun of Love. Of course, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Week 3 NFL Sunday recap. Of course, what a day it was. Definitely the most unbelievable Sunday it's been in a while. Obviously, we haven't had a week like that in a really long time. Even back in Week 10 of last year, it wasn't even close. Like, bizarreness across the whole league. Again, we'll go through the injuries. I'll probably talk about the standings for a quick second. Then, of course, we'll get to the games, go through the highlights. It'll take a bit, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy all that. Either way, though, injuries that happened yesterday. Obviously, Cesar Ruiz did get a bad concussion. If you're watching the Saints game, you would have saw that. Also, Derek Carr did get hurt. He really screwed up his shoulder. Derwin James, I guess he had a hamstring injury. Not gonna lie, didn't really see that a lot. What else? Nick Chubb again. They've actually figured out he did tear his MCL. Outside of that, I mean, again, the Derek Carr injury was pretty messy. Rashad Bateman screwed up his hamstring, but I mean, most of the stuff was really diagnosed today. First things first, Jamal Adams did he even play? I think he was out. Let me check. I really don't even know if he played. Okay, yeah, he's returning versus the Giants. That makes sense. Okay, so next week on Monday Night Football, Jamal Adams is back. I hope he gets pick 6 because that would be kind of funny. Either way, though, yeah, all the Giants guys are still recovering. Again, Derek Carr with his AC joint that really got screwed up. Yeah, and that's really the biggest injury from Sunday. Mike Williams tore his ACL. Holy crap, that is not good. Oh, I mean, Keenan Allen's there. He better stay healthy because holy crap. Chargers have no luck with these injuries. Oh, that's not good. Andy Richardson questionable versus the Rams with the concussion. Ryan Kelly also has a concussion. Outside of that, there's nothing really that huge. I mean, like, again, like some injuries, like, let's go. Greg Newsome has an elbow injury. But again, there's nothing really that crazy. Talon Wallace, again, wide receiver for the Ravens. Again, that's probably the only other thing. He's on the IR, expected to return Week 8. Yeah. But outside of the Mike Williams news and Derek Carr, I mean, nothing crazy. Yeah, Jai Alexander, he does have a little bit of a back issue. I think that could hinder him from the rest of the season, but I think he might be okay. Christian Watson is yet to really show up, so, okay, that's what I got. Oh, yeah, Emmanuel Mosley's still not back, so just keep that in mind. But, again, it's torn ACL for Mike Williams, and, again, Derek Carr's shoulder. That's about it for the injuries, but I hope you guys got some good info on that. I mean, terrible news, but, yeah. That's what I got there, guys. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo also being evaluated for concussion. Austin Eckler, for any fantasy people, still looking to get back, and obviously Jalen Waddle didn't play, but it didn't really affect the game. Speaking of the team that the Dolphins will be playing next week, and will definitely undoubtedly be the game of the year. And if you don't think it's the game of the week, you're on drugs. Yeah, Buffalo. They played same window as the Dolphins, but here's the highlights from the Bills and Commanders. Did the Commanders stay undefeated? Hell no. Here are the highlights.
Phil, what time is it? It's Week 3, JB. Last week, Josh Allen, good week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Today, he has to deal with a tremendous front.
A 36-yard attempt for Tyler Bass. His kick is good,
but not running.
On 3rd and long, Howell intercepted by Bernard. Allen steps up. There's the shot. Looking deep for Davis. Touchdown! Allen to Davis.
Has definitely had a new effect on the city ones.
Yeah, we saw him pregame. He is here in the building. And Howell drops one in the bucket to Curtis Samuel. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and it is 3rd down and 2. Pressure coming. Howell's picked off. Micah Hyde. Bess. play of the drive. Howell to the end zone, and it is intercepted. Tre'Davious White. 3rd and 20. Allen going to go deep for Gabe Davis. Fuller's down there, and Fuller has it. An interception. And the screen to Gibson. Makes a great catch and slips one. Still on his feet, and the ball comes out. And Terrell Bernard looks to be right there. Allen steps up trying to run. He's got some room. Allen will take it in. Bills fans on their feet making noise on this 3rd down. Howell. And it's intercepted. What a play. Epinesa is going to go. They run it again. Murray up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. Latavius Murray. 51-yard attempt for Joey Sly. And his kick is good.
Yep, the Bills went into Washington and absolutely murdered the Commanders. 37-3 was the final. I mean, it was really the defense that played super well. Offensively, they actually didn't play that crazy. The Commanders' defense did step up, but yeah, again, you can just look at the 4 interceptions by Sam Howell and kind of tell you what type of day it was. But they didn't get shut out. But for Josh Allen and this Bills offense, again, he did have that one bomb that gave Davis, but he was overall pretty good, took some decent shots. Again, the interception was an arm punt. Again, I actually love what this offense did, even though, again, they weren't the most efficient group at all. Like, Josh Allen didn't have his best day, but he was pretty good. Also, his footwork looked a lot better. He ran the ball pretty well, too. Again, Latavius Murray got a lot of red zone carries, and same thing with Davian Pierce, but Harris, they really set the tone for this run game. Obviously, James Cook was phenomenal. I will say he had a couple long runs. I mean, not really long runs, but long runs that did help out his yards per carry. But he was still really good at. Like, even if it 10 carries that weren't the greatest, but are not like bad carries, just not like successful carries per se. The other 5 were really good though. Stephon Diggs had a really solid day. Of course, caught a couple bombs. Again, Gabe Davis with the 35-yard touchdown. He's a one. Again, he can catch D bombs. That's about it though. Trent Sherfield was okay. Deontay Hardy didn't really do a ton. He had one nice play. I think it was on 3rd down. But that's it. That was about it. Again, James Cook over 100 total yards, and yeah, Dawson Knox only had 1 catch. Again, a lot of guys caught passes. Like Dalton Kincaid got a little involved, but no one really like stood out against Stephon Diggs. Defensively, yeah, again the story they had like 9 sacks. I think it was something crazy like that. Yeah, they had 4 guys that had 2 or more, 1.5 more sacks. Terrell Bernard would probably get the defensive player of the week. If not him, probably AJ Epinesa. Where is he? At least in the AFC side, he had the pick 6 and the sack. Like, he was really disruptive. I will say Greg Rousseau is probably the most consistent player, though. Leonard Floyd did have 2 sacks, but did miss a couple tackles. Terrell Bernard, again, was really good. Had 2 sacks, 5 tackles, and an interception. Can't really beat that all the time. And then Trey Light obviously had the pick in the red zone. Ed Oliver really got good pressure, 1.5 sacks. And then, again, Jones also had 1.5 sacks. And Matt Milano did not save the defense at all. Again, Michael Hyde also had an interception. They had 4 in total. Meanwhile, the Commanders, yeah, the Commanders finally played a real team, I guess. I mean, not really. It's kind of confusing. But, yeah, Sam Howell looked terrible, 19 of 29, 174 interceptions. They were able to move the ball a little. That's the only thing I'll say about him. And Brian Robinson Jr. getting 10 carries in this game was kind of inexcusable because they had no answer for him. He was breaking every single Bills tackle. But, yeah, he wasn't – it was a horrible game for Sam Howell. I don't know like another would put it. Like, under pressure, he was terrible. I'm be honest, probably the worst game I've seen from a quarterback under pressure. That was really bad. I don't know what his passer rating was, but it was like historically bad. Like he couldn't do anything. Yeah, again, Brian Robinson Jr. was really good. Antonio Gibson only got 2 carries. He fumbled the ball too. No one did anything in the receiving game overall. I mean, they were getting some separation. Curtis Samuel caught a nice pass to start the game, 37-yard. That was about it. Defensively, I mean, I don't really know what to say. Like when you're say 4 interceptions, a pick 6. I mean, like you can't really expect much. Again, they didn't play particularly well, but got really not didn't get too much pressure. It wasn't a great game. But the team stats wise, again, the Bills had a lot more yardage. I did say the Commanders did have some yardage at least, but that was about it. Again, 1 to 5 turnover ratio is kind of the difference there, and 9 sacks allowed, guys. That just can't happen. That's what I got there. Time for the keys to the game grades for both these teams. All right, this Bills offense, I said run the ball. James Cook 20+ times. They got close. Josh Allen continued to be patient. He was somewhat patient. Again, he did take some shots though, but make sure that when the passer comes in, Diggs did get the ball. So yeah. I'm gonna be honest, offensively, I'll give them 3 pluses. It was a good game. They weren't the most, I'll give them 4 pluses. Their offensive line played well enough to get them. They're not gonna get anything higher than that though, because they really didn't play that fantastic overall. Again, their run game looked nice, but it was really the fact their defense just imposed their will. Speaking of this defense, yeah, they were great. Again, they weren't good against the run. Their tackling was a little sloppy, but getting 5 turnovers and a pick 6. And outscoring the team you're playing is just really not easy to do. So for that reason, I will give them 8 pluses, but it was not like your prototypical perfect performance. Time for the Commanders. All right, I don't really care what you do when you turn over the ball 5 times and give up 9 sacks. There's really nothing else to say. Like, again, Sam Howell was really bad, 4 picks. And yeah, they did get behind by 10 points really early. The O-line was really bad too. So all things said, they're gonna get 8 minuses because unlike, again, like the Bills, the running game was promising and they actually did create a couple holes, and also Sam Howell did complete a couple passes. So they had something, but it was just a complete mess because of how sloppy they played. Defensively, make the Bills win up front and drive 10+ plays, score touchdowns. They did on like 4 of the drives, I think, and they did it. So defensively, I don't even think they played that terrible. It's just the fact that the Bills' offense is kind of better. Again, they didn't get much pressure though, so that's why I'll give them 3 minuses. But I really don't think they played that terrible. They did, like, secondary-wise, they were pretty good. Now, now is the game of the day. Like, there's no way to put it in. This game went to absolute crap by the 4th quarter, but Jesus, yeah, we've had a 70 burger in Miami.
From Miami, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Denver Broncos. 10, the fake, good block in there, and down it goes, caught at the 30. This is the dynamic hill. He's in for 6.
Quickly.
A-Chain is in, 2nd and 5, the pitch out. Oh, good block by Armstead. There he goes. Oh, he's a blur. Berrios on the move, pitch out A-Chain. Blocked by Berrios. Blocked by Armstead. Look at him dive. Look at him score. 3rd down and 6. Russ on the move, chased on the play. Wilkins to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Sutton. With a 2nd down and goal. Oh, look at that. Shovel pass. A-Chain breaks a tackle and dives for 6. It's a 1st and 10 with a fake and a block by Manor. It's a hit as he throws and caught. What a grab. Mims in Denver. 31-yard field goal, and it is perfect. Instead is in. 1st and 10. Here's the call. The big gain. He broke a tackle of Sanders. He gets by the defensive back Mathis and takes it in for 6. 2nd and 10. Ice catches Sutton, drops it. It's picked up on the play. Van Ginkel, Wilkins a block. Look at the linebacker go. Mostert blocked in there. Touchdown. With the door open by the right guard, Robert Hunt. He leads. And he does. 4th and goal. A-Chain. No, that's Mostert who takes it in. Moves up well. Crossing pattern right here. Sutton. Mostert was in the backfield, 3rd and 7 against the call. There's a nice block from Hill. Oh, look at the move! Dazzling display! Touchdown, Miami! Got it down. Intercepted on the ricochet! Intercepted on the play by Ogba! Gives Miami this great position, 2nd and goal. Shovel pass. A-Chain, touchdown. To White, going deep. Oh, he's got it! Shows him! Are 10 for 6. Broadcast, they felt very confident. And from the 1, this will be Marvin Mims.
And they did. They felt confident coming into this. They felt like they were going to shock some people. And
here comes
unfortunately,
Mims.
They shocked it the wrong way as Mims is taking it.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to get him. Here they go, trying to catch him it the other way. Mims, the rookie, is taking it in.
In that company.
That's regular season. 2nd down and 2. A-Chain, big hole. Turns it on, accelerating. You can kiss him goodbye.
So you would think this is a time to get him out of there.
1st and 10, going deep, and he's got him. Caught by Judy, 15-yard line. Hit in an NFL game in '66 by the Washington Redskins in the regular season. Oh, here he goes with blockers ahead. Wilson with the block.
What the hell has happened to the NFL where a team can score 70 freaking points? Holy. Yeah. When I was watching this game, I'm like, dude, okay, so at first I'm like, the Dolphins are going to score 50. I'm like, that's going to happen. So 50 points in an NFL game is really good. It only happened twice last year maybe. And, like, in 2019, again, it's rare when a team scores 50 points. It's like at most probably 5 times a season. But 60, that hasn't happened in 13 years. Like, yeah, 12 years, I think. Back when the Colts won 62-7 on Monday night. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's really crazy. If you score 60 points, like, holy crap. But 70, 4 times it's happened. And the Dolphins probably have the best overall offensive unit to ever do it. Because they're the first team ever to have 700 yards and also score 70 points. Would it ever happen again? Probably not. Because that's just ridiculous. Like, the Broncos defense, you can't, there's no excuse. Like, there's nothing you can say. Like, that's how. Okay, so back when the, 50-point blowout, I've seen it happen. The Ravens did it basically to the Dolphins. They had this actually happen to them, like, back in 2019. But it was 59-10. It wasn't 6, it wasn't like 7, like this score. So, but I will say, it's gotten close to that. But what happened in that game was, the Dolphins are tanking. The Broncos are not tanking. You'll see the best tank bowl you'll ever see next week. I'll tell you that. Oh my God, I'm going to love next week. Broncos and Bears, let's go tank bowl time. But this week, though, yeah, holy crap. Russ wasn't even that terrible. That's the thing. Was he good? No, but he did hit his deep throws. And, yeah, like, you can't say anything about the offense because, they could have ran the ball more. Well, yeah, that is true. They could have because, like, they didn't run the ball at all. But, they gave up. Like, not Cohen's son. Cortland's son was actually really good. Jared Judy did look good back in his debut. His season debut. Marvin Mims was okay. But, you can't really say anything because, like... And defensively, that's the worst defensive performance of all time. You can't get any worse than that. Well, maybe the Lions back in 2020. The Bucs could have put up 80 on them. But whatever. You can't get worse than that defense. I can't say anything. Dolphins. Tua's the best quarterback in the league so far this year. That's not even a question. He's made every throw he's been supposed to make. He hasn't really made any mistakes. And yeah, he's looked better than Patrick Mahomes. Like, he is the best quarterback in the league this year. Not in overall rankings, but this year. Like, he looked basically perfect. Tell me the last time a team had a guy run for 11.3 yards per carry and over 15 attempts. It's never happened. So, yeah. Well, I mean, it's happened, but it's not happened like this. Both running backs had 4 touchdowns. Obviously, Raheem Mostert on 13 carries had 3 touchdowns, so it's a really good touchdown percentage. Chosen Anderson, he had a 68-yard touchdown. I don't know what the heck's going on with that, but Chris Brooks almost had a touchdown, too. This game went to crap in the fourth quarter. 2 through 2 no touchdowns. That's more than the... Holy crap. Okay, so if you didn't know, Iowa, the college had a football game against Penn State on Saturday. It was the whiteout game, and they had 76 yards total offense. The Dolphins had almost had as many points as that. And then, the Titans with 94 total yards. We'll get to that game right after this. They had 94 total yards. The Dolphins had freaking 70 points. That's all I'll say. They're the best team in the league, too. Okay, defensively, they didn't have to do much. They got cooked a little bit. I will say this, Javon Holland is one of the most relentless players in the league. Holy crap. He had 5 players who got absolutely just toasted. He made up for it one way or another. Xavier Howard is washed up, and Emmanuel Ogbah was really the only sign of defense in this game. It's team stats-wise, again, 350-plus yards in both. Yeah, that's never going to happen again. Again, 3-0 turnover ratio kind of tells you the difference. Again, they don't even have the ball that long. They had 14 possessions. That's just ridiculous, too. I'm done with this game. Let's just get right to the keys of the game grades. I don't even know what to say. Let me remind you that the Dolphins didn't have Jalen Waddle, too, so just keep that in mind. They had probably the 4 of the 5 fastest players in the league right now, outside of maybe Jamal Agnew, but I'd honestly say, Rashid Shaheed. That guy can fly. But, yeah, they have at least 4 of the top 7 fastest players in the league, because those 2 running backs are sprinters, and Tyreek Hill probably could win a U.S. qualifying, and obviously Jalen Waddle's really fast, too. Broncos, honestly, yeah, he's probably, yeah. Okay, Broncos offense, the running game, yeah. They didn't really run the ball because they really couldn't. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to give an equal sign because you can't really say anything. Like, you can't compete with that. Defensively, it's 11 minuses. Again, I can't give that, but I have to because, like, you can't give up 70 points, guys. Like, what the hell? Time for the Dolphins. All right, Dolphins offense. Yeah, you're not going to get better performance than that. Like, they were tooling with them at the end of the game. That's 11. No, I'll give them 15. This is, like, impossible to give, but that's what they're getting. Dolphins defense, under 100 rushing yards allowed. I don't even know if they got, I don't even care. Equal sign. You could have just literally sat on the lawn. It wouldn't have mattered. I will say this, though, they got to play better next week because they're playing the Bills, and heck, I am ready for that game already. Okay, done with the shenanigans. Now let's get to the next game. Titans and Browns. Holy crap, was this just a beating.
Week 3 is taking us to Cleveland for a big early season battle in the
With the Chargers towards the end of camp, right on August the 28th. A 48-yard attempt here. Operation wide receivers on 2nd and 8. Again, no hesitation from Watson. That first ring football is loose. What's the call here? Murphy Bunting falling on the football. 44-yard attempt to get the Titans their first. We crossed the 10-minute mark before halftime. Watson on first down, throwing towards the end zone. Wide open. Ford.
Mistakes. This is a tough defense they're working against.
Watson on 2nd and 9. Puts some air under it. It's caught. Cooper breaking free. And it's good snap, good hold, and Hopkins is perfect.
Number 10.
Titans need a big play from Tannehill. Fires. Far side. It's caught. Snatched out of the air by Chris Moore. First and goal from the 3. Ford looking for a seam. Extends. Touchdown.
Really credit the entire defense. They came to play today.
Play action for Watson's going to take a shot. Cooper wide open. Touchdown.
Yeah, have you heard in the last clip about the Dolphins? Yeah, the Titans had 94 yards of total offense. The Browns, at least at home this year, have been the best defense in not NFL history, but they've looked pretty close or resembling the Chicago, what it's called, the 85 Bears. The only difference is that they don't really have a corner that's like playing out of their mind per se, but yeah, they're really good. Ryan Tannehill was terrible. Like, there's no way around it. Like, he got pressured a lot. I'll give him that. But, like, that's how it worked. Their offensive line's been the worst in the league this year. Derrick Henry did absolutely nothing. He didn't really have any holes either, but that was bad. DeAndre Hopkins should just demand a trade. Defensively, they actually didn't even play that bad in terms of, like, up front. They actually did get a little pressure. But, their, their against outside zone, their linebackers were so undisciplined. They couldn't set the edge either. And also, their secondary was terrible. Like, where is he? Kevin Byard, like, bro, come on. You got to be better over the top. I mean, the touchdown to Amari Cooper was not his fault. That was all Monty Hooker. But, yeah, Jesus. This was a really rough performance by this Titans team. Again, they did get pressure, though. Again, they did win up front. Like, Jeffrey Simmons played pretty well. But, like, they just didn't really do a ton outside of that. Deshaun Watson, again, it's pretty easy when your defense is giving up 94 total yards. But they were really, really good. He was really, really good. 27, 33, 289, 2 touchdowns. He was decisive. Didn't really miss any throws. It was awesome to see. Again, their running game was pretty crap. Jerome Ford did have a touchdown. Again, Amari Cooper had his best game of the season by far. Elijah Moore caught a lot of underneath passes, which is good for him because he needs to be molding that type of player. Again, Jerome Ford had 2 total touchdowns, so for fantasy guys, good for you. I mean, he only had like, he barely had 50 yards, but again, 2 touchdowns will get you points. Myles Garrett, 3.5 sacks, 4 tackles. I think his pressure was higher than the whole entire Dallas defense combined, so kind of tells you what it was like for him. JOK, 3 tackles, didn't miss a beat. Altrad also had a sack. They actually, I'll be honest, their pressure rate as a team wasn't that crazy, but they just got, like, their pressure was, like, I wouldn't say decisive, but it was quick. It was good pressure when they got it. And obviously, 94 yards of the offense against is, like, really freaking good. Again, the Browns did have the ball for a long time. Again, when a team only has 94 total yards, there's a good chance they don't have the ball at all. And that was kind of what it was like. And obviously, both offensive lines weren't crazy great. I will say Joe Bitonio was good, though. And yeah, I don't really care about the rest of this. Let's get right into the keys to getting great for both these teams. Offensively, for this Titans team, Derek has to have a repeat of the 2019 opener. Oh, God. I'm going to give you 7... No, I'll give you 7 minuses. Here's the real problem with you guys. When you have an offensive line that really just can't do anything. I mean, they can't block. They literally can't even hold, turnstiles, 5 turnstiles. I'll give you this. It's really hard to do anything. And the fact that Derrick Henry got complete, like, the run game wasn't there also, just doesn't really give him a lot. And only the ball for 20 minutes does, again, give you something to have an excuse about. Ryan Tannehill was terrible, too. Again, here's why they're not getting anything lower. It's not like they got shut out. Again, honestly, I'll give them 8 minuses. 90 under 100 total yards is inexcusable. But still, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Again, it was a really bad performance, but I have seen worse. You could argue that honestly, the Commanders' performance is probably just as worse as this, even though Titans literally didn't move the football. But at least they didn't turn over the football a ton. I'll be honest, this was a really bad performance. I'd rather you turn over the football. I honestly Rather turn over the football and at least move the football, but I can't give him anything lower than this just because I kind of feel bad for him. Yeah, I'm honestly going to give him a 9. They were that bad. Defensively, though, continue to get turnovers. I'll get to the QB. They did get to the quarterback, so that was okay. Made a shot, hit his receivers. Yep, he did. Jerome Ford was not great, though. Defensively, I'm going to give you some pride. I mean, at least something, but your secondary was atrocious in this game, and that's really what held you back from at least keeping this game somewhat competitive. So for that reason, I have to give you about 4 minuses, but outside of your secondary being atrocious, which is probably the most part of at least your part of your team, they were pretty good. Time for the Browns. Deshaun was awesome. David Njoku didn't do anything. Amari Cooper was really good. So, offensively, again, it's kind of easy when you get the ball. Again, they did hold the ball long enough, so I'll give them props for that. I'll give them 5 pluses. It was a good performance. Really solid, actually. I'm not going to give them any higher, though, because I definitely think they could have played better. Like, offensive line-wise, they weren't that great. Now for the Browns, though, defense-wise, again, they basically did exactly what they were supposed to. I'm not going to give them 10 pluses by any means, but I'll give them 8. That was a really good performance by them. Like, really, really good. Even better than their performance. You know, maybe not as impressive as the Bengals' performance, but it was really good. Honestly, I'll give them 7 pluses. No, 8, because 9 for total yards against is insane. Yeah, that's all I got for the Browns. Time for the Colts and Ravens. This game, again, went off the rails like basically every game.
We are getting ready for football on a dreary day in Baltimore that even Raven poet Edgar Allan Poe. Play of this drive. Lamar keeps, looks for a block, gets one at the 5, and the cutback, and he's in. Touch
on that first.
Checks down underneath. Kenyon Drake in his first appearance. Flag is out, ball is out.
Cover 0.
With the catch inside the 5, and he's in. Back to Gus Edwards. It's Kenyon Drake again. Jackson in trouble, and is the ball out again? Did they just pick it right out of his hand? Another turnover. 31-yarder, and it is good. That day on the way from 54, and he's got it. Spread it out for Lamar to read, and he will step up and go inside the 5 to the goal line and in. 53. Gay has already been good today from 54.
He piped it out. The snap, holding kick.
Good on 90% of his tries, best ever, and that trend will. Pressure coming against Jackson, and he gets away. They had a free shot on him, and he runs out of it for a first down.
And he's dead.
Minshew.
Money.
On its way. And it is good.
1-yard field goal.
It is on its way. Justin Tucker, and it comes up short.
The point deflection of the quarterback.
Flowers in motion.
I might go with the draw here.
Jackson, incomplete. Snap good, hold good, kick on the way, and he's done it.
The Colts went into Baltimore and absolutely did not beat the Ravens, but they somehow won. That's how I'll put it. The Ravens absolutely should have won this game. If you watched the Colts and Chiefs last year, the Colts, again, absolutely should not have won the game. But what did they do? They won the game because they played cleaner football, even though Gardner Minshew did pull on Orlovsky. So that's what I got. Obviously, Colts fans, you should be really happy, but this probably will be the high point of your season. I won't be surprised if you lose your next 5. I don't know. Maybe you beat the Rams. Again, you didn't look good in your first home game, but yeah, they might be able to beat the Rams next week. But obviously, Colts, biggest win by far for them, obviously, than the Ravens losing. Again, bad loss for the Ravens, but Matt Gay was probably the best player of this game. He had 5 field goals. Holy crap, 4 more from 50 or longer. Yeah, he was really, really. No, wait, 4 field goals. I think was it 5? It was actually 5. Jesus. Matt Gay was clutch. Gardner Minshew, 27-44, 227 touchdown. Again, outside of the Orlovsky, he did improvise really well, which is honestly probably his best trait. His arm talent obviously wasn't there, but he made a lot of throws he needed to. Obviously, that one incredible throw to Zach Moss was huge. He ran the ball, again, a couple of carries were kind of just, wasted plays, but the Colts ran the ball with a lot of heart, and I think that really helped them in the win. Offensive line was also fantastic. Receiving-wise, Michael Pittman Jr., of course, had that insane catch, but outside of that, I really don't think he did too much. Again, yeah, you could argue that other stuff, but again, he had a really big game overall. Josh Downs finally showed up. Alex Cruz, again, really struggled with getting open, and yeah, Zach Moss, of course, had the touchdown. Defensively, Zaire Franklin was awesome at 11 tackles and 4 sacks. A sack was pretty good. Isaac Sampson, Ebukam, Kwity Paye, and David Brown all good. Kenny Moore played. Yeah, that's basically all I got for him. Grover, the 2 defensive tackles were disruptive. Of course, in DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, but I don't really. Did DeForest Buckner even play? No, he played. Yeah. They really didn't do a lot. But yeah, honestly, they kind of just stood there and did their thing. And obviously, Shaq Leonard was good too. So I like what I said again. Matt Gay was probably the best player on the team, but yeah, really good. And oh yeah, you can't forget about Rigoberto Sanchez. He had some really nice punts. Ravens-wise, Lamar was really pedestrian through the air. I don't even know how he had 200 yards, but I guess he did. He can't basically throw it to Zay Flowers knowing it's going to be an incompletion expected to do a lot. Again, I get the huge PI call. Again, the Ravens should have won this game. Like, the Colts did not win this game. Let me put it like that. Obviously, Lamar 14 for 101 and 2 touchdowns. He ran the ball really well. Took a couple too many hits, though. Melvin Gordon, I don't know what the hell was going on with him. He's never been good. In the past he's been, but still. Zay Flowers, again, just kind of like a pushy type of game, I guess. Nelson Aguilar and Mark Andrews were okay, I guess. Again, none of these receivers really did anything. They all played just crappy. Defensively, I don't really want to talk about it outside the fact that Kyle Hamilton had 3 sacks. He was huge. Javon Conn also had to have a sack. Rogan Smith also had to have a sack. They were good. Really good, my bad. Justin Tucker, of course, bricked the 61-yard game winner. He's going to hit that next game, I guarantee you. And obviously, team stats-wise, again, the Ravens should have won this game. Both again, offensive lines weren't great either way. And the Ravens lost 2 fumbles though. Like, that's a big thing too. But after that, again, really even possession-wise. Again, the Colts just kind of played a cleaner game, but they definitely didn't win this game. Alright, for this Colts offense, there's Zach Moss getting 20+ touches. They very well gave him that. And then the QB has to be able to hit the throws 10+ yards downfield. Yup, 25+ points. They got, not 25+ points. Honestly, offensively, outside of the Orlovsky, I really don't think I think it was a really well-executed game. Yeah, Gardner Minshew did throw something like, that should have been a pick. But obviously, when you have a really banged-up secondary, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, Gardner Minshew was really good for them. To be honest, I'll probably give them 3 pluses. It wasn't a good game by any means, but they did figure. I'll give them 4 pluses. That was a good game against really good defense. Defensively, and that also is counted for Matt Gay. Defensively, they did make Lamar try to throw on the run, but again, he kind of did get away. They didn't buy the play action. They didn't really run much of that. And yeah, Gus Edwards had to bounce out. He didn't really do too much for that reason. Defensively, I'll give them 5 pluses. I really do think they really helped them stay in the game. Yes, they had some plays. I'm like, yeah, you kind of just got to tackle Lamar there, like get him, but they couldn't. So yeah, again, really good performance stepping up against the Ravens, but they had some plays where they could have been better. Time for the Ravens. Missed opportunity. Lamar was not great through the air. 200 yards, yeah, but that was about it. Again, I don't know what they're trying to do in the run game, and Zay Flowers did get his targets, but again, didn't really do a lot. The Colts kind of just kept everything in front of them. They didn't really get many big plays, and obviously the Ravens did not have the same success through the air that they had in weeks 1 and 2. And then again, they should have won this game, so just a really missed opportunity of them, 2 minuses. Nothing really the execution, because they definitely moved the football. It was just the fact that, again, the 2 fumbles, the field goal, again, it was just a weird game. Defensively, they just didn't really show up for most of the game, and when they did, it was kind of like, yeah, they should have done that, the rest of the game. So, again, kind of just missed opportunity. I'll give them 3 minuses. Ravens, it's not the worst loss I've seen from you, but what was that? Time for the Texans and Jags.
Jacksonville, Florida, the first coast, and their Jags are first, defending champs in the AFC South. A real problem, 48 yards away, and this is a problem for Brandon McManus, who was perfect. Stroud, floating one deep, and running underneath, tagged down! 3 tight ends around. Pierce squirms, and he's in for the touchdown. Dameon Pierce from 51, and it's blocked by the Texans. Will Anderson Jr. with the block, and he nails the field goal. 1st and goal, handoff Tank Bigsby. He's in for a Jacksonville touchdown to make it a 1-score game. This time he nails it. He's got running room. Andrew Beck. After Boone couldn't handle it, it's still going. Beck. He's going to go all the way in. 2 of 8 so far today. And that is intercepted at midfield. Blake Cashman diving for the takeaway. 28 yards away, and he's money. 3rd and 4. Wide open. And that's a Jacksonville touchdown. Christian Kirk. Stroud to throw, the blitz is on. He floats one wide open, and there he goes! Tagged down all the way in! And a lot of support from his special teams today, along with his defense.
Oh my God. I mean, I said the Texans have not lost in Jacksonville since 2017. That's when it was Saxonville. But I didn't expect this. I thought the Texans were going to win. I thought it was going to be a good game. But holy crap, C.J. Stroud showed out. And the Jags offense looked horrible. I mean, I threw it the whole game. But they didn't look good at all. And again, the fluky touchdown, like, weird stuff. Again, always bounces the Texans' way here. Obviously, they're actually now second in the AFC South, only behind, again, the Colts, because they lost to them. But the Jags getting blown out at home against the Texans squad that, honestly, I did expect them to win. But still, this is not a game you'd expect them to lose. C.J. Stroud was awesome. He had 2 bombs to Tank Dell. Obviously, he had a huge game, which, like, unbelievable under pressure. He was the second worst quarterback in the league under pressure the first 2 weeks. But this week, he was awesome. His footwork was perfect. He had all his reads ripping through them. It was awesome to see. He was baking. Obviously, Dameon Pierce, we don't talk about that. I said he had to be great. He really wasn't. Didn't matter because he just was off the charts. Again, Tank Dell 2 bombs. Again, spread the ball around to his other receivers. No one really did a ton either. Again, John Mechie, really good to see him on the field making plays too. Defensively, Shaq Griffin was just knocking guys over. That's how I'll put it. Blake Cashman, of course, with the interception. Steven Nelson had 4 tackles. Obviously, Andrew Beck with a 85-yard kick return touchdown. I don't know how you don't say that's the play of the week. Like, you just can't expect that from a freaking fullback. Obviously, Jonathan Grenard was pretty good too. Again, overall, the defense just played a collectively good game. They didn't get too much pressure at all, but they just played really good in coverage. Again, losing Derek Stingley, they played awesome against Steven Nelson. Having Jimmy Ward back, if you didn't think that was a big deal, it did. Their secondary looked just completely flipped. But in the middle of the Jaguars, yeah, again, Trevor overall statistically looked really good, but he had a lot of frustrating reads. He had to check a lot of balls down. Again, a lot of these receivers had to kind of settle for some plays. Jamal Agnew obviously fumbled twice. Travis Etienne Jr. at 450. Again, really fluky game. It wasn't like they couldn't move the football. Again, Trevor Lawrence did have open receivers, but the defense just didn't give him his first read, which when you give Trevor Lawrence's first read, they're going to score 30 on you. It's just kind of how it's going to work. Travis Etienne Jr. having 9 carries was kind of crazy because he was running all over them. Obviously, 27-40, 279 touchdown interception aren't the worst numbers. It was a blowout by the end, obviously. For I say Luke Kong was really bad. Yeah, don't care about the 8 tackles. He was terrible in coverage. There's no excuse for it. Like, Trayvon Walker's been a bust so far in his career. He hasn't done absolutely anything. He's done absolutely nothing. Josh Allen, I didn't see him do anything. Like, the defense, no one showed up. Like, literally no one. Brandon McManus missing 2 field goals was also a big difference, too. Offensively, the Jags moved the football actually pretty, I wouldn't say at ease, but they moved the ball really well. Again, Trevor, again, with the pick was pretty bad. Again, he didn't get his first read either, but they definitely moved the football. Like, 440 total yards is not a joke. 2-0 turnover ratio as well. That was a huge difference. Obviously, 4-2 punts was actually in the Texans' favor because they actually gave them some hard drives for them as well. Again, third down, the Texans were better, not by a ton, but they were. Again, the Texans just simply got the bounces of the ball, and it was not a 20-point game. The Jags, it should have been a lot closer, but sloppy football will make your scores look like this. All right, Texans. Yeah, they did run the ball a good amount, and then they actually tried to get the ball to Dalton Schultz, but it didn't. But they did get big plays from the receivers, and again, C.J. Stroud outperformed Trevor Lawrence. That's kind of what it came down to. I'll give them 5 pluses. 37 points is not a joke. They actually only scored probably realistically 20. But yeah, still 5 pluses. Defensively, complete up front. They did. Lee Collins was really good. The SWAT move was off and on. But I will say he did get into power pretty quick. Transition from hesitation power, Will Anderson against Anton Harrison. He actually did have a couple pressures too, but it wasn't anything crazy. Defensively, I already talked about it. They took away the first read. They made it at least somewhat tough on Trevor Lawrence, but they definitely weren't crazy great. I'll give them a plus. I think they played pretty good. Time for the Jags. All right, Jags offense, throw the ball over the middle. I'm changing my mind. I'll give them 2 pluses because you can't expect too much from them. They did throw again. It was good, but then Trevor under pressure wasn't the greatest, and yeah, Travis Etienne was really good. So again, offensively, they really weren't that bad. Again, they just couldn't really convert when it got condensed, and obviously the biggest thing, Trevor, they couldn't. The first read was never there, and I think if they got to a point, where Doug Peterson just kind of gave it up on the first read. For that reason, the Trevor had to hold on to the ball for a little longer than he kind of wanted to, and yeah, that kind of how some stuff spiraled. Either way, the Jags offense, I will give them a minus. I don't actually, again, I get the fact they kind of imploded, but again, you can't miss 2 kicks. Again, the special teams was just absolutely horrendous, so gotta keep that in mind too. Jags defense keeps Stroud from getting easy checkdowns. They kind of really didn't. they were good against the run, but they didn't really force turnovers, and they got cooked through the air. And again, when you can't get any pass rush, there's a big difference. Again, they did get some, like, pressure per se, like penetration, but that's about it. They never actually converted. So for that reason, I have to give them 5 minuses. That was not a good performance. If we're counting the special teams shoot, it was probably about a 6 or 7. It was not a good game at all. Probably the worst of the season for sure. Time of the Chargers and Vikings, I don't even know where you start with this game. Here are the highlights.
Turn around an 0-2 start, standing in their way. From the 25, Cousins. Pressure picked up, but he fits it into T.J. Hawkinson, and the ball pops out. It's taken away, and the Charger first and goal. Slung it sidearm and into the end zone. Donald Parham for his 2nd touchdown of the year. Cousins, pressure coming. Hit as he throws, gets rid of it to the goal line, and it's a touchdown. From the 44 on first down, they find Joshua Palmer. The ball popping out at the 45-yard line. Ripped out by Jordan Hicks. 3, Madison trying to find the end zone. The ball is out. Another Vikings fumble. Recovered by J.T. Wood.
And a waltz in the end zone. 23-yard try is good. Points.
Pressure again. Herbert throwing down the sideline. Drops it in to Joshua Palmer. Motion across from Smart. Herbert pumps, throws, caught, touchdown. Those referees, 2nd and 12. Herbert to the air, floats it up for Williams. A diving grab is made by 53-yard try. He hit from 57 in college. This would be an NFL long instead.
And he could throw on the move.
49.
Double pass, double pass.
He's going to throw down the sideline. Williams wide open. Mike Williams with the catch, and he'll walk in for the touchdown. 56, Cousins waiting, throws. Osborne open. He's got it down the sideline. Osborne diving into the end zone. It is a touchdown. 14 at the 48. Oh, what a strike. Oh, Justin Jefferson on the run. Jefferson will not be caught. It's a touchdown. 3rd and 17. Herbert. Oh, back over the middle. Dangerous throw, but he finds Allen and he gets the first down.
You're like, don't you dare, great throw.
To the end zone. Deflected and caught. It went off Evans into the hands of Joshua Palmer for a Charger touchdown. They are going to go. They give up the middle, and he's not going to get there. They go on the ground with Joshua Kelly. The Chargers go on 4th and 1 from their own 24. Steps up, throws for the end zone, deflected, and it's intercepted. Kenneth Murray, after the double deflection, ends up with the football.
Yep, the Chargers went into Minnesota and did not win. They actually won this game. They won 8-24 with the Vikings. The Vikings, I mean, like, it's, again, we already talked about it. Last year, they were 11-0 in one-score games. This year, they're 0-3. That's why they're 0-3. Like, that's kind of why. Like, the Vikings are always going to be competitive, I think. There's really not many games where they get blown out. But they just cannot buy a break in these one-score games. At least this year. Again, kind of expected that with the reverse luck. Justin Herbert, first over 400-yard passing game. Again, when you have these one-score games, you have a really good offense, Vikings, but your defense is crap. The secondary just got completely lit up. Again, Keenan Allen threw a 49-yard touchdown. They had 4 total passing touchdowns. Like, Justin Herbert only missed 7 passes. Again, he probably could have had a couple picks, but Jesus. Like, he was surgical. They didn't run the ball well, though, so, I mean, that's one thing for this defense hanging their hat on. Keenan Allen also, yeah, he had 250 receiving yards and 18 catches. I don't remember the last time a receiver had 18 catches. That's freaking crazy. Again, Keenan Allen was just amazing in this game. Like, I have not seen this. You know, we were talking about Mike Williams. He tore his ACL, but he did have a really good game. Really sucks what happened to him, obviously. Keenan Allen, if he could do this every week, they could do something, but holy... 215 yards? Oh my god, that's crazy. Again, no, it's just the 18 catches I can't get over. How do you have 18? That just never happens. I mean, if there's a guy that have 200 yards and have 18 catches, it would be Keenan Allen, because it kind of relies on those. Not either way, though. Josh Palmer, of course, got the pass touchdown. Donald Parham also was pretty good in the end zone. Then again, these receivers are going to have to step up. Quentin Johnson's got to finally do something. Gerald Everett was at least serviceable. But again, I can't. 18 catches is just phenomenal. He's definitely the player of the week. Like, you can't, again, maybe Don A-Chain, but, like, 18 catches? That's ridiculous. Defensively, though, Kenneth Murray Jr., 8 tackles and an interception was pretty good. Probably honestly the best play on the Steelers. Michael Davis struggled against Justin Jefferson, but outside that, he was pretty good. They did get some pressure. I'll give them that. Again, they had 3 sacks. 4. I didn't actually, too bloated. Didn't remember he had a sack. But either way, yeah, whatever. They weren't that great defensively. You'll see why in a second. And also, Cameron Dicker did miss a field goal. Okay, Kirk Cousins, how do I put this nicely? Why did you throw to T.J. Hockenson? Because you really trust him, I get that. But, you don't make that throw. Let me put it like that. Like, the Chargers, you should have won this game. Like, Brandon Staley's a freaking idiot. You don't go, I don't care what the heck the score of the game is, or like what, we could win the game with this. No, you don't go, you're inside your own 25. You don't go for it. That's stupid, especially with a score like this. I don't care about analytics. That's just dumb. And Kirk obviously choked. So we got there. The running game looked like so much better, though. Justin Jefferson, 749, of course, is a 52-yard touchdown. He's still him. T.J. Hockenson, of course, outside that one play again in the end zone, he was pretty good. All the receivers played pretty well. Obviously, K. Jasmine with a crazy 36-yard touchdown. But Kirk, that pick, just, yeah, you got to get better with those. But, again, he has like 350 yards passing through the air 3 straight weeks. Like, they're moving the football. Defensively, no one played well. I don't care what you say. Again, Danielle Hunter, probably the best. Honestly, you got Danielle Hunter, and the rest of these guys are ass. Because Jordan Hicks, probably the worst coverable linebacker in the league so far. All the guys in the secondary are terrible. Harrison Smith can't cover, but he does make some tackles. I'll give him that. But outside of that, like, I gave up on this defense. They're worse than the Broncos. No, they're not that bad, but still. Both, again, dead even with yards. Again, this was just a straight-up 0-2 type of game. Again, neither team played that well. But yeah, the Vikings, holy crap. That's a Vikings way to lose. The Chargers, but the Vikings, Vike. That's what I gotta say. Alright, offensively, the Chargers, Keenan Allen got his targets, we know that. But, the offensive line as a whole was not perfect, but I do think they played well enough to win. Obviously, the run game was pretty atrocious, but, like, they need Austin Eckler back, let me put it like that. But again, Justin Herbert was just off the charts. I'm gonna be honest, I'll give them 4 pluses. Just the decision-making was a little bad. Again, I don't think the play calling was actually that great, just Justin Herbert executed at even the higher level. The running game, I don't think this defense played particularly well, but they did at least cover. That's how I'll put it. They tried to stop Justin Jefferson. It wasn't like they just got absolutely toasted. Obviously, the pick in the end zone was huge. They bailed the offense out. So, for that reason, I'll give them at least a plus, but it wasn't like they stopped anything. Time for the Vikings. How do you lose this game? That's how, like, again, oh my god. Brandon Staley is just so stupid. Please go back to the Rams and be like, I don't even know, like a linebacker coach, because you're really good when you're on our staff. But either way, back to this. The Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, bro. Why can't these old Rams coaches just do something? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, oh, God, this was really bad. I don't care you move the football. You're getting 3 minuses. You can't lose like that. Defensively, I don't even know what to say. Like, you're just terrible. Danielle Hunter's awesome, but, like, that's about it. So, 5 minuses? You were even going to get smart that you still couldn't do. I'll give, honestly, 6 minuses. Like, I'll give them 5 minuses because they made the stop. But still, outside of that stop they made on that 4th down, they did absolutely nothing. Like, there's no way around it. Like, that is just a terrible defense right there. Now let's get to probably, this is honestly the worst game. Like, if there's one normal game this week, it was this one. Falcons Lions. Falcons, like you shouldn't be 2-0. That's how I'll put this one. Here are the highlights.
Jared Goff leads the Detroit Lions back out onto Ford Field to take on the 2-0 Atlanta Falcons. Horn to force overtime last week against Seattle. He drilled that one, and this one is good as well. Green Bay, his 8th career game-winning field goal already. One of the more reliable kickers in the game. Preseason was with Detroit last year, is in the game. Goff stops, loads, open Laporta, he's got it, and he's got his first NFL touchdown. And they will, they'll get 3 out of it. Little wobbly, and it's no good. Drill. Here's Goff. Wants to go deep. Goes deep and throws it to the Falcons. It is already. Goff keeps it this time and at least keeps you in the game. This is a 24-yarder from Koo. Chest.
Hit the helmet of Robinson. There we go again.
Hutchinson with the play to seal it.
Alright, the Lions hosted the Falcons and showed the Lions are definitely a better team than the Falcons. That's how I'll put it. Like, the Falcons, yeah, good 2-0, good start, fluky, whatever. No, you're not that good. Like, I mean, Falcons fans, you can be all happy you want. You got a decent defense, but I mean, your offense is just not it. You can talk about all you want with the run game, but when you can't run the football, because there are going to be games when you don't have the guy to throw the football. So when that happens, well, you're not going to win the game. That's kind of how I put it. Like, they are a very limited offense when all things are said and done. Even how good their offensive line is and how really dynamic the running game can be. But speaking of that, Desmond Ridder was horrible. Could have had at least 3 interceptions. I honestly could have argued even 4th, but obviously the Lions secondary was banged up and it didn't look that good. I don't know what to say. Like, Desmond Ridder against basically backup secondary looked horrible. That's how I'll put it. Like, he couldn't get past the second read without at least airmailing it. Well, honestly, I don't even think it was the progressions that were bad. Like, you talk about Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. They're not only he's not as bad as them. I'll give him that. He at least can get through his reads. But the issue with them is accuracy. It was all over the place. The running game was terrible. Bijan did not look like good at all, like in any way. Tyler Algier basically got stuffed every run, and obviously, at least Kyle Pitts did something, but outside of that, no one else did anything. Defensively, again, the Falcons are going to London, too, so we'll see how that game goes. Falcons and Jags in London next week. That should be fun. Again, it's not. We'll talk about the game when we get the preview next week, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Jesse Bates is still probably the best safety in the league this year. Honestly, even the guy in the secondary. He's been 3 picks, doesn't give up anything, doesn't miss tackles. Like, yeah, Jesse Bates, he's on his way to maybe not defense play of the year, but at least DB of the year. 6 tackles and an interception. Caden Ellis is also good. I mean, honestly, their defense didn't play too bad. I just think that the corners kind of were a little sloppy. AJ Terrell didn't play particularly well, but outside of that, I really weren't great against the run either. Obviously, Young Okumis did miss that 1 field goal though. Lions-wise, Jared Goff was not perfect by any means, but he hit all the throws he needed to by most means. Obviously, that 1 duck, but outside that, he was awesome. The running game was not particularly great. Again, Zonovan Knight did look okay in those 3 carries. I just wanted to mention that, obviously. Jared Goff did have a nice read option touchdown as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown was pretty good. Only had the ball with 3 guys, basically, but they all had big games. Defensively, Brian Branch, 11 tackles. He is a very dynamic rookie. He's probably been the best rookie defensive player, at least so far. They had 6. They got a ton of pressure. I'll be honest, I didn't actually think their defense was that crazy. I didn't really look in the advanced video. I just kind of watched the film of the offensive line. They didn't look that bad. I really didn't think that they gets this many sacks. I guess I wasn't counting, but yeah. The Falcons offensive line gets really struggled, and yeah, that was ugly. Obviously, it's like 7 sacks. Jesus. Yeah, again, look at team stats. The Lions had a lot more yardage. They blew. I won't say it was a blowout, but they definitely won this game for sure. Again, 7-0 sacks. The Lions offensive line is, yeah. I was thinking, yeah, Falcons offensive line is coming in probably really riding high. They got BITCH slapped, and obviously the Lions offensive line looked a lot better. They won the trenches battle by a wide margin. Falcons, you got some work to do. Again, you're going into London next week. Should be able to beat the Jaguars. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Time for the keys to game rich for both these teams. Falcons offensively, I mean, they tried to get Bijan open, but they just really didn't get anything with him. Desmond was not being able to do anything under pressure, and obviously their offensive line was pretty horrendous. So, offensively, it was just kind of an overall failure. I'll give them 5 minuses. Honestly, 6. The one good thing I'll say is that at least their run blocking was somewhat confident, but outside of that, it was really bad. The running backs just didn't play that well overall. And the offensive line just kind of, again, BITCH slapped all over, and obviously, it just wasn't a good game. Meanwhile, this defense, you're going to have to make a big play. Again, they didn't really do that. They did give almost under 20 points. So, I'll be honest, they played okay. It's just like they didn't really replicate much pressure at all, and they just couldn't really stop Jahmyr Gibbs. So, for that reason, I'll have to give them about 2 minuses. But it wasn't a terrible game. Again, outside, the Sentinel touchdown, they were pretty good against Jared Goff. Time for the Lions. Okay, Lions offensively run the ball earlier than last week they did. Again, Jared Goff was relatively good. Obviously, they did have the they had 35 plus points, but Jahmyr Gibbs was really good. Not elite, but he was really good. So, offensively, I will give them about 3 pluses. It wasn't a great game, it wasn't fantastic, but they got it done. Defensively, Bluff Mint, they were really good. Again, they got a lot of pressure, a lot of nice stunts, a lot of nice chips, whatever you're gonna call it. It worked, and obviously they're with a really banged up secondary, they figured it out. So I'll give them I don't know, 6 pluses. Again, it was factors with the Atlanta offense, but they shut them up. 6 pluses, that's really good. Time for the first national game. This game was crazy. Saints and Packers, here we go.
Here come the Green Bay Packers on a beautiful 7-degree afternoon. Lambeau Field.
What the hell?
Back to Love. Couldn't handle it. The low toss from Emmanuel Wilson. Ninth play of the drive for the Saints on 3rd down. Carr, end zone. Touchdown. Jimmy Graham. Puck fielded at the 24 by Shaheed. Shaheed across midfield. Shaheed is going to take this all the way. Ninth play of the drive for the Saints. Carr, near side, Olave! What attempt, the rookie. Love firing downfield, and it is intercepted.
There, and they're having success.
Love on first down. There is a flag. Oh, and a diving catch. Near side, incomplete.
His left.
So now the Packers looking to put their first points on the board today. Love will take it in. He took it. Second down and 10. There's Love looking for Reed. Diving catch. Love on third down to the end zone. What a catch. Touchdown. From 46 yards out. Nope. Rupee's kick is no good. Wide to the right.
Packers were down 17-0 going into the fourth quarter and definitely didn't really win this game. But they figured it out and won 18-17 against the Saints, who, of course, should have won this game, and they really had a lot of bad luck. I don't know where to put it. Derek Carr, if he stayed in the game, they probably would have won 38-3 like they did back in 2021. But did not happen. Derek Carr screwed up his shoulder. Jameis Winston came in. I mean, he was basically just checked down Charlie. I don't know where the old Jameis Winston went. Chris Olave had a really good game. Michael Thomas disappeared after the second quarter. Not after the second half, like literally in the middle of the second quarter. Just didn't do much after that. Not Jamie Graham. Jamie Graham had a touchdown. Defensively, Alontae Taylor was the only guy who showed up in the fourth quarter. Overall, defensively, I actually think it was a really, I won't say fantastic, it was a really well-played game. Dennis Allen really had a good game plan. Just the fact that, again, they kind of missed tackles, a lot of tackles in the fourth quarter, and they also just simply, Jordan Love kind of took over. But, yeah, Alontae Taylor had a really good game. Blake Grupe, there's no excuse for making that hill goal. I don't care about the wins. You just got to hit that thing. Obviously, Packers-wise, Jordan Love, honestly, just... He missed a lot of throws, but again, the bad arm punt pick. But he did show up in the fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers-esque. He looks really good. The run game was terrible. The offensive line, getting without their basically three best offensive linemen, was just really bad. Jordan Love had really bad pockets, and that's part of the reason his completion percentage was that bad. He really all his throws were hard. Were all of them the offensive line's fault? Absolutely not. He definitely could have made it easier on himself, but. Yeah, they weren't great. That was for that. Romeo Doubs, again, I was wrong about him going in the season. He's looked really good so far. Jaden Reed, honestly, pretty good. Luke Musgrave, worth the pick. Tavian Wicks, probably going to be getting his work a little later in the season, but he looked good. And also Patrick Taylor, who's just kind of a bomb, and Emmanuel Wilson were somewhat serviceable. Defensively, very bizarre game because they absolutely took advantage of Jameis Winston coming in. They got 4 sacks. Rashawn Gary is back. Their secondary overall wasn't that great, though. They gave up a lot of open plays. Obviously, Darnell Savage basically gave up 3 bombs, but none of them really amounted to anything. But yeah, it was okay. Again, I think they kind of just took advantage of the fact that Jameis Winston came in. But they pitched a shutout after the second half shutout. You can't really say anything else. They had a good game. Neither running game really got going at all. I will say Kendrick Miller did look somewhat respectable in his debut. Again, the Packers had so many yards in the fourth quarter. Again, they had the ball longer, too. Again, the one interception, I'll say that, though. Again, the Saints should have won this game. They should have actually blown him out of Derek Carr Stadium. But then again, when he got hurt, that kind of told you what the difference was. Packers escape in Lambeau. Again, they blew a 12-point lead last week. The Saints blew a 17-0 halftime lead. Kind of what you got there. Obviously, Packers were up for 18 points in the fourth quarter. They're now 2-1. They play the Lions on Thursday night. What a game that'll be for, of course, first place in the NFC North. And probably the rest of the season, because those are the only 2 good teams that are really do anything in that division. That's what I got there. Time for the keys to the game breaks for both these teams. All right, Saints offensively, you can't really blame them for what happened, because I get the fact that what it's called, their offensive coordinator, is it Van Pelt? I think it is. Whatever. No, it's Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael could have done a better job at getting Jameis Winston into situations where he could move the ball downfield, because one way or another, if you don't like it, Jameis Winston's at his best when he's throwing the ball conservatively deep, which is really confusing, but that's really the truth. They ran the ball somewhat well for what you'd expect from not really having a running back, a real true really experienced running back. Derek was, again, he did take what the defense was giving him before he got hurt. Juwan Johnson was pretty good. they didn't turn over the football either. Like, I really don't think it was that bad. It was just kind of a tough game for them. They actually got the ball in field goal range, too. Again, from what happened, I'll give them 2 pluses. Again, really tough situation. They'll be healthy next week, thank God, though. I hope Derek Carr can come back, but they will have Alvin Kamara, which will be huge for them. Of course, playing the Bucs and what, honestly, will probably be a battle for first place in the NFC South. NFC South, at least. And for this defense, neither one, they were good. Honestly, until the fourth quarter, they're actually really good. Demario Davis just honestly didn't show up in the fourth quarter. They didn't give up any big plays until, again, that fourth quarter. It was just a collapse. I'll give them 3 minuses. Again, it's just you can't collapse like that in the fourth quarter, especially when you have them on the ropes like that. But outside of that, the Saints played a pretty good defensive game. Time for the Packers. And offensively for this Packers offense, I said utilized receivers in multiple different sets. Obviously, they ran a lot of. Honestly, I think they ran 3 trips plays on that fourth quarter that really worked out well. Obviously, they used some of the guys in some funky places in the first half. Obviously, I think they had what's it called. I think Jaden Reed was at tight end for like 3 plays. It was weird, but honestly, it was just trying to get something going. It didn't work out. Jordan Love did not disappear in the fourth quarter. He showed up. Romeo Doubs had a really solid game. Offensively, I will give them 3 pluses. They can't have that happen against the Lions. They just won't win. That's how I'll put it. But you showed up in the fourth quarter again. Got a little lucky, but you figured it out. Defensively, showed up the communication in the run game. They weren't terrible against the run, but I think they could have been better. Obviously, blitz from the right, it worked out somewhat well. And yeah, Derek Carr did move around a lot, and he kind of succeeded against it. They had trouble against what is it called? What was it? I think it might have been against 11 personnel. They were having trouble on what is it called. He beat Chris Olave hemmed in, but outside of that, I really don't think this Packers defense was that bad, I guess. I don't know how to play it. Like, they had a weird game. I'll give them 3 pluses because then they did, I'll give them 4 pluses. Second half shutout's a thing, so yeah. So yeah, there. Time for the NFL on CBS Patriots Jets. This is right down the Patriots' alley. Holy crap, was this a bad game.
Bill Belichick and Robert Saleh meet at midfield as their teams get set to square off. New England and the New York Jets. And it's
this kick by the rookie, Chad Ryland. And Ryland knocks it through. Stroke with the first one. This is 48. Same distance he made with the first one. And this one, no good. Holding his right side. And on first down, play action. Over the top they go. And he's got Brown. Pharaoh Brown. Stretches out. Lions kick. It hooks through.
Do with 37.
It's all about numbers, man. Numerology lovers. Don't believe it. Now, this kick hooking, and it is good. Hand it off to the up back. Borden. And Nick Borden has the Jets' first touchdown.
Got to throw the ball inside here.
Trouble. Just what they didn't need as
him go and roll out and go get it. There they go. Right and goes.
Getting it set up. Throws it. It's going to reach the end zone. It's going to reach the end zone. It's batted around. Oh, there was a chance to make the.
I guess Derek Carr's week to week, that's just not very good. And Jimmy G's in concussion protocol. I think we already talked about that. Either way, though, Patriots, they figured out a way to beat the Jets. That's how I'll put it. Like when Jerkin highlights on here, you know this was not a good game. Mac Jones really, and I mean really, struggled against the blitz. He was not good. As well, Jonathan Myers popped him about 8 times. That doesn't help either, but Mac Jones did not have a great game. Again, under center, he looked a lot better, but like when it came to third down, like no chance. Zeke finally looked good. Ramondre Stevenson still hasn't gotten it going though, but I will say this: he broke a lot more tackles this week, and he did look a little more explosive. So I mean, that's okay. Pharaoh Brown, obviously, the touchdown, but outside of that, like no, this offense was just not stuck in the mud. Bill O'Brien's got some work to do, but I will say this: Jets defense played phenomenal compared to last week. Drew Packer's six tackles. He was pretty productive. Kyle Duggar and Anthony Jenkins, I think, were pretty good, like, combined. They actually both were doing a pretty good job. Obviously, Kyle Duggar was basically playing linebacker this game. Anthony Jenkins, a lot of nice plays funneling into him. Matthew Nunn, 2 sacks, was getting pressure. Christian Barmore also had a sack again. And also the Hail Mary play, I actually think the coverage is pretty good. Christian Gonzalez has had a pretty good start to his career. Obviously, Chad Ryland did miss those 2 field goals. We don't talk about the one he missed on the end of the half, but outside that, he was fine. Zach Wilson sucks. Like, there's nothing new here. Yeah. Again, they had that one really good drive. That's about it. No one can really run the ball either. This Jets offense is miserable. If I'm Garrett Wilson, I'm looking to get traded. Like, yeah, this is really bad. I'm joking, but still. This is going to be a rough year for the Jets. Defensively, everyone looked better than last week. Literally everyone. Even, like, Yeah, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner that played a lot better. I will say Sauce definitely took a step up this week. They didn't get a sack. They definitely got pressure for sure. I like a lot what I saw from this defense. They played well. And also Xavier Gibson had a nice return. Stats-wise, again, 171 total yards is miserable. Again, 3-0 sacks. That's kind of gotta tell you the story too. Again, the Jets did have a chance to win this game, but like when it comes down to it, the Patriots defense just kind of outperformed their Jets defense in what was a really defensive battle. Alright, Patriots offensively, Mac Jones has to be able to diagnose the linebackers pre-snap. No, he didn't do that very well. I think he got confused in some plays because they were bluffing a lot. Again, we'll get down to the Jets, but they did bluff a lot of zone coverages, and it was, man, it was kind of funky, but yeah, they were playing a lot of outside leverage. Mac Jones was not ready for that, and he definitely missed some throws because of it. Ramondre Stevenson just didn't get going. Juju, he had one nice block for Zeke. That's what I'll put. But offensively, again, they kind of showed up. Again, that was not a great game. I'll give them four minuses. I think it was more the Patriots. Again, they're not going to have to face the Jets defense for a while, but that was not a great performance. And they did have some explosive plays, which I think was okay, but definitely not a great game. Defensively, show Zach why he's 0-4 against you guys at this moment. Kind of. They weren't actually that as amazing as you think they were. They did blow some coverages, but outside of that, I'm giving them 6 pluses because they kind of just kept the Patriots in the game. They should be 0-3 right now if they had played any sort of other team. Alright, Jets offense. Yeah, that's kind of what I got for you. I mean, Garrett Wilson's blowing by guys, like 5 minuses. It's just the fact you can't really expect much more. Jets even show up. They did look a lot better. I really feel bad for their defense. They looked a lot better. I'll give them 5 pluses. They play pretty well. Time for the Panthers and Seahawks. Honestly, the Panthers at least fought hard. That's what I'll put it.
It's a football Sunday in the picturesque Pacific Northwest. Today, the 0-2 Carolina Panthers taking on the 1-1 Seattle Seahawks. Hecker will hold it. Snap from Jansen. Pinheiro connects. Now in his 9th year in the league, attempting a 43-yarder. He knocks it through. And he nails it for Jason Myers. He converts. They handle the rush. Dalton lays it out there. Wide open is Chark. Makes a move on a spin, and Chark's going to take it in. Touchdown, Carolina. Smith gets rid of it quickly, and it's intercepted. Trying to add to the Carolina lead. 44-yarder. 37-yard attempt for Jason Myers. He's got it. 5th try. Splits the up-yard attempt. Pinheiro leans into it, and it's no good. Hand off. Walker. He's in. Touchdown. Seahawks. Clock, but they're going to do it. Dalton on 3rd and 5. Hooks a pass underneath. Thielen's got a first down and then some. Thielen makes a move, and he'll come up just. Backfield. First play of the 4th. Sanders. There's a pile right at the goal line. Walker. Walker takes it in for the score. Fake it. Smith floats it. Caught. Bobo. Touchdown. Spinning again. Sets. He'll throw to the other side. And converts. Stepping in for the injured Bryce Young. Dalton to the end zone. Adam Thielen. Touchdown.
The Seahawks took care of business against the Panthers, won 37-27. After like a little bit of a slow start, they imposed their will and figured out a way to win. Andy Dalton, overall, I think he played a good game against pressure. He was really consistent. He really he felt like he had a good game. Again, the offensive line of the Panthers was overmatched by a ton. Their run game suffered because of it. Miles Sanders, I really did think played a pretty good game. Again, Andy Dalton just kept the game under control so much. Again, they kind of got away from him late. But yeah, Andy Dalton, I think, played really well as, in relief. Obviously, threw for a lot of yards as well. 58 attempts is never good for a quarterback, though. They didn't really have much of a running game either. Adam Thielen was great for my fantasy team. But outside of that, he was good. But I'm like, yeah, he had at least a couple plays where he couldn't. Again, overall, a very good game. But I think he could have been a little better. DJ Chark, 4 for 86, touchdown. Outside of the 47-yard touchdown, he didn't really do a ton. Again, none of these receivers really played that well. John Mingo, I think, honestly played decent. But, yeah. The Panthers had a tough game. I think offensively, they showed up. Defensively, though, Derek Brown, aren't you supposed to stop the run, like be a big penetrator and really help out the other guys? Not really. He didn't shed blocks well either. Brian Burns was okay, though. Dan Jones off the practice squad had his interception. Yusher Gross-Matos also had a sack. Again, they just got absolutely bullied up front by the fourth quarter. That's how I'll put it. Meanwhile, for the Eddie Pinheiro also missed a field goal, but that doesn't really mean much as it stands. Seahawks-wise, Geno, 23-36, 296 touchdown interception. Definitely bounced back after the pick. He had a really good contribution from by far the offensive line's best performance in the season. I really like what I saw from that. Geno, again, he did get some pressure on the left side, right side without Abram Lucas, but he did figure it out, and obviously the running game was really good, very physical. DK had a really good game. Tyler Lockett didn't really show up. JSN only had one catch, but Jake Bobo had a crazy touchdown too. Devon Witherspoon had his best game as a rookie so far. Bounced back from a rough last week. Boyd Mafe had a sack. Jordan Reed had 1.5 sacks. Jordan Brooks also had half a sack. I'm not gonna really break down much else from this defense because again they were getting pressure just basically running their basic sets. More importantly, I do like a lot what these safeties were doing. They were doing a lot of rotations, and I really like the fact that they played a lot more one high, making these receivers make the plays. And yeah, the corners obviously did their job. Jason Myers had 5 field goals after going 3 for 6 in his first 2 weeks. Stats-wise, again, both teams had a pretty good amount of yards. I think just the rushing game was a really big difference. And again, both teams had the ball for a pretty good amount of time. Again, Seahawks offensive line wasn't great, but they were definitely a lot better. And again, the Panthers offensive line just kind of did struggle. So I'll put it. Seahawks took care of business. Panthers are now 0-3. Season, I wouldn't say it's terribly over, but it's pretty close to being it. Offensively, said Miles Sanders has to at least show some sort of athleticism. He did. Andy was really good, though. So, honestly, offensively, I think they kept themselves in the game. I'll give them 4 pluses. They looked a lot better than they looked the whole entire season. So, just with that in mind, it was a big step in the right direction. Defensively, though, make Geno get run around. They did a little bit. Kenneth Walker really hurt them, though. And again, Tyler Lockett didn't really gash them too much, so I think that was okay. Defensively, again, they weren't great by any means at all, but they played. I think they played respectable at least. Again, they were not good against the run, though. So I'll have to give them 3 minus and 4 minus. Again, give up 37 points. You'll never get your chance to win. Like, not a great game, but honestly, the Panthers they played a respectable game. Time for the Seahawks. Alright, Seahawks offense take some deep shots. They did take a couple. Not really, but kind of. Kenneth Walker, he was really good. Didn't have a 50-yard run, though. Had something close to it. Geno was really good on the corners, though, against the corners. Offensively, I'll give them 4 pluses. Obviously, their best game of the season, so, well, second best. But whatever. Their offense is starting to hum. They look really good. 4 pluses. Defensively, blitz, and press up. Yeah, they actually didn't play that well. I'm not going to give them 4 minuses. I'll give them 2 minuses. They got pressured. They kind of, did what I expected them to. But I'm going to be honest, I actually think the Panthers matched up well against them, at least, with the offensive line. So, again, they got good pressure, but, again, I just kind of like the matchup was pretty good with the Panthers. They had final success last year. So, Seahawks, again, they kind of, knew about Andy Dalton. They took care of business. I just think they could have been a little better, especially, what is called in the secondary. So right there, time for the upset of the week, Cowboys and Cardinals. Oh, God, I got some stuff to say.
You spend too much time worrying about Micah Parsons. They've got other good players to hurt you.
Here's Dobbs with room to the edge, and Joshua Dobbs gallops down the sideline, makes the cut in. Matt Prater from 39 yards finishes off the Cardinals' opening drive with a field goal. Just outside of the 5. It is Connor, short side of the field, blocker ahead, end zone ahead, and a touchdown.
And he's straight down his route running.
He's got it again here out of the backfield and explodes up the middle. Rondale Moore, touchdown Arizona. Screen, Dowdle, Rico Dowdle cuts it back into the end zone for the Dallas touchdown. It's per rush so far this season. Opening things up for James Conner here. All the way to midfield. Yeah, he's got this one too. The first half. See if Prater still got it in him from 62, a line drive. Oh, he hit it! Large point here, but it counts for 3 as it's Scott. Looks, takes off. Dak Prescott throws, incomplete. Launches, Brown, he's got it! Who has now hit his last 15. Joshua Dobbs sets the shoulders, steps into the throw and blown coverage. Michael Wilson, one man to beat, swerving around him inside the 10. Down and goal, fake to Connor. Dobbs retreats and floats for the end zone. It's Brown, it's a touchdown.
Get it in here. Prescott looking in zone. That one's picked off. It's Kaiser White.
How about them Cowboys? Oh, this felt so good. Cowboys are no longer the best team in the NFL. There's no excuse for it. The Cardinals are freaking tanking. I mean, they didn't look like in this game, I'll tell you like that. But yeah, the Cardinals obviously, I'm pretty stunned. I'm happy they won this game though, even though again it's not good for the Rams. But yeah, Cardinals, hats off to them. They are playing really good football. They've been again. Talk about all you want about the blown lead, but they were not supposed to win last week. You know, they were not yet. They kind of were. Whatever. The Cardinals have been playing really good, hard, clean football under Jonathan Gannon. He is a very good coach, at least through the first 3 weeks. Something's going on there, obviously. But Cowboys, what the hell? I mean, this isn't even like you're fraud now. Like this is like holy crap. Like you can't lose this game. Dak was bad. I'll put it like that. Again, I don't care. You're supposed to be, again, you're against a team like the Cardinals. You're supposed to be able to throw the ball all the way on the yard like you're supposed to. Again, they were able to do that. But in the red zone, he bricked up, and it was really bad. Tony Pollard ran the ball the way you thought he was going to the first 2 weeks. He looked really good. Rico Dowdle, of course, is the only touchdown by this Cowboys offense. It was a miserable week in the red zone for them. Again, CeeDee Lamb had one nice play. Outside of that, it was kind of a mess for them. Yeah, Cowboys blew the game. Defensively, though, they were pretty good if you take into account the fact they got gashed on the run, against the run. Again, you look, their run defense really hasn't shown any signs of being that good through the first 2 weeks. Again, they had some plays, I'm like, yeah, you can't really do anything about that. But DeMarcus Lawrence did not show up against the run. They had two, I think, 40-plus yard, 45, almost 45-plus runs. Obviously, the two on the touchdown and then the game, Josh dropped to start it. They could not stop the run. They gave up 400 total yards. There's no excuse for that. Like, Micah had the one good sack. That's about it, though. Defensively, didn't look anything like you'd think they would. Cardinals, Josh Dobbs was basically perfect. That's like basically the best game you're going to see from him. Of course, won his first career game. Congrats to him. They had 3 guys run for over 50 yards. Obviously, Rondale Moore was a touchdown. But whatever. I figured out how to work. The only player in this offense that didn't play well was Keontae Ingram. What is called Marquise Brown looks like the number 1 receiver. Michael Wilson, of course, got that blown coverage play. And yeah, no one else did much in the receiving game, but it worked out because the Cardinals, again, they had a huge game. Defensively, though, Kaiser White, and that free agent signing definitely looks a lot better now. 8 tackles and an interception. Chris Barnes looked like the 2020 version. Jalen Thompson, still probably the best player in this defense overall. Marco Wilson was pretty physical. Xavier Collins and Victor Dimeji both get sacks. Where's Dennis Gardeck? He was really good, too. Really good performance by this defense, too. Again, really stiffened up in the red zone. Again, Cardinals at 400 total yards. Like, that's just most since last year. I did not expect that at all. Let me go like that. Again, both teams at 2 sacks, though. Again, the Cardinals are just better in the red zone. They play cleaner, a cleaner brand of football, and the Cowboys just, again, bricked up in the red zone. Only 1 touchdown on 5 drives. It's really the difference, and how about them Cowboys? All right, Cowboys offensively, I don't care how good they move the football. They didn't score. They scored 1 touchdown in the red zone, and they did not. Literally, the Giants offense, that was, oh my God, how bad were they against you guys? Put up 31 points in the second half against this defense, and you guys couldn't even put up more than 1 touchdown. There's nothing I can say. Like, Cowboys offense, you sucked. 5 minuses. Like that, no, yeah, I'll give them 5 minuses. Defensively, no, Micah did not do that. 5 minuses, too. You gotta play, honestly, 6 minuses, because, honestly, Cardinals at their best should not have played. Again, it is the NFL, so, like, I think this is about as bad as you could play. They could have played worse, though. I will say this. The Cowboys did not play their worst game in this game, but they were pretty, they weren't necessarily pretty close. They played bad. Time to the Cardinals. Not only did the Cardinals offense score a touchdown, they scored more than 1 touchdown. So, for that reason, they're getting 8 pluses. I don't know how they no, I'll give them 7 pluses. They were awesome, though. Offensively, no, my bad, 6 pluses. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. Defensively, super aggressive corners. Again, they were real. The corners were really good, like physically wise. And Dennis Gardeck didn't have like anything really productive wise, but on film you could see what he was doing. So defensively, I'll actually give them 5 pluses. They were so good in the red zone, but honestly, any other week they probably want to have this happen again. I don't see them winning again against the Cowboys. But great win, Cardinals. You definitely deserved it. I don't know how the hell you did it, but you did it. Okay, now let's get to honestly, was this worse than the Dolphins game? You could argue it was. But T. Swift's in the house.
It is America's Game of the Week and a gorgeous day in Kansas City. Feels like summer for a big game in this Week 3.
Stevenson's back in a corner for the Bears. That's good news. Mahomes on the fake little flip. McKinnon gonna walk in. Touchdown, Kansas City. He's gonna run it. Edwards-Helaire. Close. No signal yet. He's in. Little pressure. Steps away. Floats one deep down the far sideline. And is caught. Mahomes wide open. McKinnon. He's in again. Touchdown, Chiefs. Herbert looks for a block out to the original script. He lost the ball. Still loose. Kansas City's got it. It's illegal. Here's Harrison Butker from 41 yards out. Right down the middle. Make it 20, 35 yards passing. Stands in and delivers here. Tipped and it's intercepted. It is picked off Mike Edwards. Draw. Pacheco walks in. Touchdown. And the kick is perfect. 3rd and 7. Blitz coming and it's picked up. Mahomes going deep. Marquez Valdes-Scantling makes the grab. 11th play of the drive. Mahomes lofting end zone. There it is. A touchdown to Kelsey. And it's 3rd and 4. Here's Gabbert. Some pressure coming. Gets it away and it's intercepted. Fans are booing. They like the shutout, obviously. And Santos
for a playoff run, but it just, at this pace, I'm not sure if that's in the cards.
Gabbert over the middle, knocked around and intercepted.
Oh, in fourth quarters. This is a deep, talented group.
Fields going deep. Oh, good catch. DJ Moore, a one-hander.
Like you said.
Fields on a slant. Moore's got it for the touchdown.
Yeah, the Chiefs were up like 41-0 at halftime. It wasn't actually. That was like 34-0. But yeah, the Bears are awful. You could say they're worse than the Broncos. I'm not gonna say they are, but they're pretty close. Justin Fields, if he struggles against the Broncos next week, I wouldn't be surprised if he got benched. Oh god. The only good thing about this Bears team is that it's early in the season, but Jesus, it's been rough. This is worst case scenario. The run game was promising, yeah. DJ Moore, oh god, he dropped a couple bombs. It was a tough game for this offense. I don't even know what to say. Like, I honestly feel bad for them. But defensively, they sucked. Yeah, you gotta say that. Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards probably look like chickens with their head cut off. At least TJ Edwards is somewhat fluid. But they had, again, 2 picks, so that's good. After Patrick Mahomes came out, they looked good, but that's literally about it. Again, they did hit a field goal, I guess, yeah. But for the Chiefs, Mahomes did his thing. They look like the old Chiefs, yeah. Travis Kelce looked like him old self with Taylor Swift there, obviously. The rumors are true, I guess. The run game was also really good. Maybe not, like, explosive, but they look good. Jeremy King caught 2 touchdowns. Fantasy people that somehow had him, cool. MVS obviously caught that 1 bomb. Could have had a touchdown after, if not for Juwan Taylor. It was probably the only loser of this game for this Chiefs team. Defensively, Blaine Gabbert was pretty bad too. But defensively, Drew Tranquil was really good at filling in for Nick Bolton. The whole defense really played well. Like, yeah, there's really nothing to complain about there. And for stats-wise, obviously, yeah, the Chiefs had 456 total yards, whatever that was. So, yeah, it was just a complete murdering. Like, that's how I'll put it. Turnovers, damned. Like, yeah, this game was awful. They literally had to switch it, too. All right, Bears offense. Justin Fields did not light it up. They did something in garbage time, I guess. Yeah, 5 minuses. Like, holy crap. Defensively, I mean, we have forced receivers to beat you. Tremaine, Edmonds, TJ, Spanis, Pacheco. No, they didn't do that. Like, the defense, Kellen Moore, they almost looked as bad as their offense. 5 minuses. They at least looked good once Patrick Mahomes came out. Time for the Chiefs. All right, Chiefs offensively, find a way to put MVS in the slot. Yep, they actually did a really good job with that. Obviously, Travis Kelce was really good. Tony didn't even play. But offensively, they look like their old selves. 4 pluses. The reason I'm not getting anything higher, though, is because I think their execution could have been better. And obviously, the Juwan Taylor, you know, I'll give them 5 pluses. Yeah, they were really good. Defensively, Chris Jones, Justin Fields, and yeah, they basically did that. Defensively, they honestly looked really good the first couple weeks. I'll give them 5 pluses, too. Kind of just polar opposites. Like, when the Bears play bad and the Chiefs play well, that's literally what happens. Time for Sunday Night Football. This game gets me angry.
Harry Underwood welcomes you on a Sunday night to the world-famous Las Vegas Strip. And on the south end of the Strip, play action. And looking downfield for Devontae Adams. He's got it. Touchdown Raiders.
to Las Vegas in this Raiders home opener. Spoiled it with a 23-18 win. Their offense looked really good after halftime, but kind of just like didn't kind of poop their pants in the fourth quarter. But it's okay because Kenny Pickett was good, not great though. Again, he kind of abandoned the pocket more than you at least saw from the rest of the season. But first game with multiple passing touchdowns. If you didn't know, he looked pretty good. Obviously, the running game was not efficient, but it worked. That's how I'll put it. Defensive, again, Carolina scores with the long touchdown. George Pickens looked like he got clocked on one play. I don't think George Pickens played that bad of a game. Defensively, Levi Wallace had 2 picks. Yeah, his defense is really exciting, but they're not exactly consistent. Minka, best game of the season for sure. Both the linebackers look solid, though. Pass rush was really good. T.J. Watt's awesome, obviously, but the only consistent players in this defense, I think, are probably T.J. Watt and these 2 linebackers. Minka, yeah, I'll say he played well, but it wasn't his best game overall. I mean, consistency-wise. But, again, they got good pressure. This defense is one of the most exciting defenses in the league. Chris Boswell also had a couple of bombs. Raiders-wise, I think Jimmy G was at least playing part of this game concussed. I really don't know. The one throw he had to Devontae Adams where he almost murdered him was really bad. That was just throw it back shoulder, even if it's a pick. It's better than when it all happened. But, yeah, Devontae 13 for 172, 2 touchdowns, by far his best game of the season. Jimmy G threw 3 picks. One of them was basically a prayer at the end of the game. One was an I don't know what the hell was on one of them. Honestly, Jimmy G kind of looked slow in this game. But he did throw for 324 and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah. The running game, Josh Jacobs didn't really get it going, but it was better, I guess, than the first 2 weeks. Joey Myers, 7 for 85. He's looked good on the Raiders so far. Hunter Renfrow at least made a couple catches. He's been basically had the yips ever since the start of last season. Defensively, though, honestly, they could have been worse. They just kind of, their safeties just kind of were burnt toast. Outside of that, though, I don't think they played too bad. Both corners missed a lot of opportunities. Nate Hobbs was really bad. Marcus Peters, at least, was decent in zone. And, man, he was a little better than last week, but still not great. The linebackers couldn't really cover, though, and, yeah, Max Crosby was really their only sign of light outside of that, though. And, Josh McDaniels is stupid. Just don't kick the field goal there. Stats-wise, obviously the Raiders 362 yards, 3-33. Yeah, they definitely, that makes sense. Outside of that, though, 3-0 turnover ratio, that was a huge difference. The Raiders definitely were better in the second half for sure, again. Overall, at least. And, yeah, the offensive line for the Steelers was just a less of a turnstile, I guess you could say. This was kind of what you expect, but at least it was somewhat entertaining. That's what I got for Sunday Night Football. Let's get right to the keys of the game and wrapping this thing up, and hope you guys, again, enjoy Monday Night Football. Okay, offensive from the Steelers team. Najee did get some carries. He did help out that offense in terms of, at least giving the Raiders at least something to think about. Kenny was able to be pretty good on those comebackers as well. They did score 10 points second half. Again, they kind of just laid an egg in the fourth quarter. Overall, offensively, though, it was definitely their best game of the year for sure. I'll give them 3 pluses. I like what they did overall. They could have been better, though. Defensively, keep Josh in the backfield. Absolutely. I mean, they weren't great, though. Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt, again, were a little inconsistent, but yeah, obviously T.J. Watt took over. And make Jimmy take a shot to move the football. Yup. Defensively, kind of picture-perfect type of a game. I'll give them 4 pluses. Again, they weren't crazy great overall. They did have struggle covering Devontae man-to-man, but no one really that crazy consistent outside of probably T.J. Watt and Holcomb and what's it called? Not Robert Spillane. I'm literally laying in it. Yeah, basically Cole Holcomb and how am I forgetting this? Bro, whatever. Their other linebacker was really good too. Time for the Raiders though. And wrapping up the NFL Week 3 crazy NFL Sunday recap. We got the Raiders offense and basically what I think from them. A lot of missed opportunity. They moved the football well though. Again, the picks were really bad. It was kind of like a game yeah, if the Raiders are going to have a game where they're going to move the football, but just kind of have a messy game, this is kind of how it's going to work out. So, eventually I have to give them 2 minuses. I don't think it was a terrible bad game, though, because they kind of, at some points, they did move the ball really well. And, I'll give them 3 minuses. Raiders defense, Max Crosby was really good. Outside of that, though, no one really did a ton. They were pretty good against the run, though, so I guess that's something to say. It wasn't a great game, but I'll give them 2 minuses. They could have been worse. No, I'll give them 3 minuses because of the big plays. And with that, that's all I got for the NFL Week 3 Sunday recap. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, enjoy Monday Night Football. We got a pretty good doubleheader. I don't know about Joe Burrow yet, guys. I'm waiting just like everyone else is. But so that's what I all got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the games. And yeah, what a Sunday that freaking thing was. Holy crap.
Mertz hasn't thrown an incompletion yet. He's 4 for 4. Going to the air again. That pass is high. Oh, what a one-handed grab by Pearsall. And then he took a pop at the